Hi. When we're talking about comprehension, reading comprehension, we want to teach children to ask questions. Um, First of all, when we are reading, we want to provide some prior knowledge and some schema for them. So we first talk about the book that we're about to read. So I'm going to do a retelling or a telling of a classic fairy tale. Well, I guess it's not a fairy tale, it's a fable called The Three Little Pigs. And here it is. So I would show the children this cover and say, what do you think this is about? And of course, most children in first grade have heard of the Three Little Pigs. But in my pre-K class, if I'm ever in there, then I might teach this for the first time. They may never have heard it before. And so we'll ask, well, what do you think this book is about? And then they'll come up with questions and I'll write it down on the board. But then I'll tell the story. And so I'm going to tell the story to you. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I will tell the quick version, okay? A long time ago and far away, there lived a mother pig and her 3 sons. The 3 little pigs were growing bigger and bigger every day. It really is time you moved out and made homes for yourself, Mother Pig said one day. This place isn't big for all of us. So the very next day, the 3 little pigs moved out, taking their belongings with them. Watch out for the big bad wolf, said Mother Pig as they left. They set off down the road and came to a crossroads. Each little pig went in a different direction. The youngest one headed for the fields. I want to have fun, he said. My house will be very quick to build. He cut lots of hay and straw and made himself a straw house with a thatched roof. The house was soon finished and he moved in at the end of the day. His house may have been quick, but it wasn't very strong. Well, someone had been watching him while he had been building it. The big bad wolf in the forest nearby was very fond of little pigs. He liked eating them. The youngest little pig had settled down for the evening when there was a knock at his door. Who's there? Asked the little pig, because nobody knew where he lived yet. Little pig, let me in, said a deep voice, or by the hair on my chinny chin chin, I'll blow your house down. It's the big bad wolf, said the little pig, just like Mother Pig said. Open the door, little pig, said the big bad wolf again. No, shouted the little pig, I won't let you in. Then, said the big bad wolf, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. So the big bad wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the straw house down. The little pig ran and ran. The second little pig had headed for the woods. I want to spend time looking in the woods, not building my house, he said. My house will be very quick to build. He gathered lots of twigs and sticks and made himself a house of sticks. His house was very quick to build, and he moved in at the end of the day. His house may have been quick, but it was not very strong. That sounds like the other little pig. Well, someone had been watching him while he was building it. The big bad wolf in the forest liked eating little pigs, and he had missed the first little pig. The second little pig had settled down for the evening when there was a knock at his door. Who's there? Asked the little pig. No one knew where he lived yet. Let me in, little pig, let me in, said the wolf, or by the hair on my chinny chin chin, I'll blow your house down. It's the big bad wolf, cried the little pig, just like Mother Pig said. Open the door, little pig, said the big bad wolf again. No, shouted the little pig, I won't let you in. Then I'll huff and puff and blow your house down. The big bad wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the stick house down. The little pig ran and ran. The second little pig met the first little pig running down the road to the crossroads where they had separated just a short while before. They set off down the road that their older brother had taken. The third little pig had decided to make a good, strong house for himself. I don't want to be eaten by the big bad wolf, he said. He headed for the town and bought lots of bricks and cement, and then, some way out of town, he built his new home. His house was made of bricks and would not fall down in a puff of wind. He had windows and a chimney and a rocking chair in front of the fire. The little pig's house was not built in a day, so he spent the night in a hotel. When his house was ready, he moved in. He had just settled down to an evening in front of the fire when there was a knock at the door. Who's there? He asked. It's us, your brothers, cried the 2 younger little pigs. Let us in, the big bad wolf is after us. Well, the 3rd little pig jumped up to let them in. He couldn't let the horrible wolf catch his young brothers. Well, the 2 little pigs told their older brother what had happened. That's what comes from not building proper houses, he told them. We'll be safe here. At that moment, there was a knock on the door. The 2 little pigs shook and shivered, and the 3rd little pig stood by the door and said, Who's there? Let me in, little pig. Let me in, or by the hair on my chinny chin chin, I'll blow your house down, said the big bad wolf. No, I won't let you in, said the little pig. The big bad wolf huffed and he puffed, and he puffed and he huffed. The little brick house did not move. The big bad wolf huffed and puffed until he was blue in the face, but he couldn't blow down the little pig's house. He went away to think about things, but he was back the next morning. Little pig, he called to the little pig in the house, the market is coming to town. Why don't I meet you on the road to town and we can go to market together? That would be very nice, said the little pig. I'll meet you at 8 o'clock by the milestone. The next morning, the big bad wolf was at the milestone at 7:45. He was determined to catch the little pig. But the little pig was much too clever to be caught. He had already been to the market and back again by 7:30. The big bad wolf had been waiting for nothing, and he was very angry. He realized that the little pig had been too clever for him, and he went back to the little pig's house. Little pig, he called, the apples in the orchard are just turning ripe. Why don't we go pick some together? You will be too short to reach the branches, so I can help you. Oh, that's very kind of you, said the little pig. I'll meet you by the orchard gate at 2, just after lunch. I'll be there, said the big bad wolf, and he was. He was there at 12 o'clock, before lunch. But the little pig had been clever again and had gone to the orchard at 10 o'clock. But guess who was waiting at the orchard gate when he left at 12? The big bad wolf. But he was too busy looking at the little pig's house to see him coming from behind him. And the next moment he was bowled over as the little pig went rolling by in a barrel. The little pig jumped up and ran indoors just as the big bad wolf reached the garden gate. I'll get you, cried the big bad wolf, and he saw the 3 little pigs looking out of the window and laughing at him. He disappeared into the forest. The 3 little pigs sat and laughed. That must be the last that we'll see of him, said the first little pig. He knows he'll never catch us. Don't be so sure, said the 3rd little pig. Here he comes now. What's he carrying? Asked the 2nd little pig. It's a ladder, said the 3rd little pig, and I think I know what he plans to do with it. The 2 younger little pigs watched the big bad wolf as he came nearer to the house. The older little pig was bustling around by the fireplace. I think this will soon put a stop to his games, said the 3rd little pig. He had quickly made a fire, and it was beginning to burn well. He moved a huge pot onto the fire and filled it with water. He rubbed his hands together. What are we going to do? Cried the 2 little pigs. Listen, you can hear him. He's on the roof. What shall we do? Nothing, said their brother. I've done it. Wait and see what happens. And after this, we won't be bothered by the big bad wolf again. There was a sudden scrambling inside the chimney as the big bad wolf started to climb down. Ah! Yelled the big bad wolf as he suddenly realized that the chimney was warm and getting warmer. He scrambled and scrabbled, trying to get back up the chimney, but he couldn't. Ah! He yelled as he came tumbling down the chimney. Splash! The wolf landed in a huge pot of simmering water that the 3rd little pig had put on the flames. And that was the end of the big bad wolf. The 3rd little pig let his brothers stay a little while longer, but then he sent them out into the world to build their own strong houses, just in case there was another big bad wolf out there. Okay, so this is a traditional telling of the 3 little pigs. So I would then say, boys and girls, let's write down some things that we noticed in our story. So the 3 little pigs. Was there a big bad wolf? Big bad wolf. Yes. Were there 3 little pigs? Yes. Did they each build houses out of straw, sticks, and bricks? Yeah, there were 3 houses. Straw, sticks, and bricks. Yes. 3 houses. Straw, sticks, and bricks. Great. And did the wolf end up getting turned into wolf stew? Mm-hmm. Yeah. The wolf stayed bad. He didn't turn nice. Wolf stew. I'm going to write. Wolf stew. And I would, maybe the kids would have some more questions or comments, and I'd write those down too. And then we'd read another story. Now I've got these 2. I've got more. One of the ones that I love is also, it's the 3 Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig, but it takes a while to read, so I'm going to stick with one of the shorter ones. I'm going to try this one, the 3 Little Pigs and the Somewhat Bad Wolf. This is so sweet. This is a cute story, and I love doing this compare and contrast. The 3 Little Pigs and the Somewhat Bad Wolf. Once there were 3 little pigs. They lived on a farm, as most pigs do, and were happy, as most pigs are. Then one day the farmer told them that he and his wife were moving to Florida. He paid the pigs for their good work and sent them on their way. Okay, now I'm going to do my trick where I fold it over so that children can always see. And I read on the back. Let's buy potato chips, said the first pig. Let's buy sody pop, said the second pig. Let's buy building supplies, said the third pig, who was altogether unpig-like. Reluctantly, the others agreed. The first pig decided to build a straw house. Since straw is cheap, he had plenty of money left over for potato chips. The second pig decided to build a stick house. Well, sticks are practically free, so he had lots of money left over for sody pop. The third pig decided to build a brick house. She spent all her money on bricks and mortar, but the man at the hardware store did give her a sandwich. That was nice of him. Soon the straw house was finished. It was dusty and musty, but the first pig didn't mind. He rocked in his hammock and ate potato chips. Soon after that, the stick house was done. It was small, and there was no room for a bathtub, but the second pig did not mind. He took a mud bath and drank soda pop. So here he is in the mud bath. Brick by brick, the third pig worked on her house. Sometimes the other pigs would come by to watch. They had a wonderful time. Here's where I would probably ask a predicting question. Boys and girls, what do you think is going to happen? Get lots of responses. Finally, the brick house was finished. It was big, beautiful, and strong. The third pig was very happy. She filled a basket with vegetables from her garden. The next day, a wolf came to town. He was very hungry and somewhat bad. He went to a donut shop, but it was closed. He went to a hot dog stand, but it was locked. Finally, he went to a pizza parlor, but he wasn't allowed in. He left in a very bad mood. Look at his face. Doesn't he look very angry? You see these? He wanted a hot dog, but they closed and said, No wolves allowed. See where it says no wolves allowed. Soon he came to a straw house. It smelled like pig. I like pig, he said, not in a friendly way. He banged on the door. Who is it? Called the first pig. The wolf. Open up or I'll blow your house down. I think the door is stuck, said the pig. So the wolf puffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. I can't believe that worked, he said. He had never blown down a house before. Quickly, the first pig got on his scooter and sped away. So in this story, they have scooters. That's different. The wolf moved on, hungry but confident. He came to another house, this one built of sticks. Same piggy smell, he said, and he knocked on the door. Who is it? Called the second pig. Wolf, open up, or I'll blow your house down. Trust me, he added. I've done it before. I think the door is jammed, said the pig. So the wolf took an enormous breath, and he huffed and he puffed, and he blew the house down. I'm amazed that works, he said. Meanwhile, pig number 2 got on his bike and rode away. The wolf was still hungry, very, very hungry. The hungry wolf came to a beautiful brick house. He noticed a familiar scooter and bicycle, and the house reeked of pig. The somewhat bad wolf rang the doorbell. Who is it? Called the pigs. The wolf. Open up or I'll blow this house down. No, said the pigs. Not now. We're watching our favorite show. The starving wolf took a humongous breath, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huff, huff, puffed, and he puff, huff, huffed, and he huffy, huffy, puff, huffed. Oh, dear. Look at his face. After all the huffing and puffing stopped, the third pig said, do you think he's still out there? The 3 pigs looked through the window and saw the wolf collapsed on the lawn. Oh, look at the poor guy, said the first pig. He's exhausted. Maybe he needs some potato chips. The second pig added, maybe he needs some soda pop. The 3 pigs revived the wolf with some smelling salts and invited him in. The somewhat bad wolf was embarrassed. I was so hungry, I just couldn't even think straight. Here, have a potato chip, said the first pig. Have a soda pop, said the second pig. Oh, never mind that stuff, said the third pig. Dinner is almost ready. Since their houses were wrecked, the first 2 pigs moved in with the third pig. My house, my rules, she said, and she made them clean their rooms before they went out to play. Look at them. They even have a swimming pool. How fun. The wolf stayed too, but there was no more huffing and no more puffing, and he was hardly ever bad again. So this book ends in a completely different way. The big bad wolf was not big bad. I'm going to write this. The 3 little pigs and the somewhat bad wolf. I'm writing rather quickly, so my handwriting is kind of not so great, but you could do the same type of, have it be more organic, have the children help you and guide you. Was there a big bad wolf? In this story, yes, but in this story, no. He was just hungry. Were there 3 little pigs? Yes. Did they still make their 3 houses out of straw, sticks, and bricks? Yes, yes, and yes. Did the wolf end up turning into wolf stew in this story, or did they become friends? No. They all became friends. They all became friends. So there's lots more that you could be writing down with your students, because they will come up with things to talk about. They'll say, well, what about these pigs had scooters and bikes? And oh yeah, let's write that down too. And oh, this pig got a sandwich and she went to the hardware store and got all her bricks and mortar. So many fun things that you can do. But it's teaching them to think, because good readers are thinking. They're thinking about questions, and they're thinking about comparisons, and they're thinking about what's the same, what's different. That's what good readers do. And they make those comparisons. And this other book, the true story of the Three Little Pigs, is hilarious. It's it's really funny. I'll just read the very beginning of it. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story, because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. So you can tell this is going to be a pretty funny book that the children will definitely like. I won't continue reading it. I'll let you discover it on your own. If you haven't already heard of The Three Little Wolves and the Big Bad Pig, get that book too. That's fantastic. It's a very funny story. I've also got many different retellings of Cinderella, The Three Bears, the Billy Goat's Gruff. I've got different retellings of that. So fairy tales and fables are a great way to do compare and contrast, which really teaches children listening, because they have to hear the differences within all of the different stories. And since it's the same basic story, all of the differences become much more magnified. And it's a great way to teach literacy. All right, I hope you like that.